My name is Tim, and this is the story of a motorcycle journey back and forth across America. It starts in Orlando, Florida, crosses the country to Los Angeles, California, where we ride Run for the Wall to Washington, D.C., and finally home to Orlando, Florida. We left Denver just a few days before Run for the Wall. If you haven't seen our 4-day trek from Florida to Colorado, please check out my previous video. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. The scale of everything in this part of Colorado was humbling as we headed west. This part of Interstate 70 makes for some great motorcycle cruising. There was still snow on the ground at 11,000 feet. Temperatures were in the 40s, passing through the Loveland, Colorado area. Cool but enjoyable with my heated gear set to simmer. We stopped a few times to take in the scenery. I'm an engineer, so I geek out when I pass through these tunnels. I appreciate that someone stood in front of this mountain and decided to just go through the rock instead of over or around. This part of the trip was enjoyable, so we pretty much drained the tanks reasonably and didn't get into playing gaslight chicken. It amazed me that if you looked off into the distance, there were no signs of people. No houses or roads or power lines. Just peaks and mountains and huge rocks. The interstate wound through canyons and along the Colorado River. This was easily the best day of riding of the whole trip. One last Colorado tunnel to excite my engineer's soul. Our destination for the night was a campground in Utah, though there was still a lot of good riding left for the day. If the previous day was a day of relaxed touring, day 6 was back to the grind as we left Utah and pointed our bikes toward Arizona. Temperatures in the morning were in the low 50s, but they started climbing as we worked our way south. Little did we know how far the temperatures would swing that day. It still amazes me how much of this landscape seems untouched by humans. The closer we got to Vegas, the more we saw man's mark. Lunch was with friends of my nephew in Las Vegas. When we hit a traffic jam near the California state line, the desert temperature was up to nearly 108 degrees Fahrenheit. Google Maps was warning us of a 51-minute delay, so we sort of made our own 10-minute path around the traffic. You can flame me in the comments if you want, because I know this isn't how lane splitting works in California. We did try lane splitting the legal way, but that was a little too nerve-wracking for this Floridian on a loaded down bagger. After staying in San Pedro, California for the night, Day 7 was all about exploring some personal history. I am a U.S. Navy veteran and one of the last handful of people who can call themselves battleship sailors. I was part of the recommissioning crew and served on the USS Iowa in the early 80s. My ship is now a museum in Long Beach, and it was our first destination for the day. It was a little surreal to come alongside this 887-foot warship for the first time in so many years. I used to call this ship home. We got a personal tour of the places I lived. I slept in that bunk as we rolled through 30-foot seas above the Arctic Circle. And I manned a battle station high in this Mark 37 gun director, which sent signals down to a Mark I able fire control computer to accurately control the 5-inch 38 caliber guns. I can't thank the museum staff enough for their hospitality and the care they take of Battleship Iowa, especially Janice and Paul, who showed us around, and my Navy buddy Don, who made the trip to LA to visit the ship with me. We had a little bit further west to go before we could turn around and head back in the direction of home. I walked down to the water's edge and let the Pacific Ocean lap against my boots. And then we were eastbound, though I couldn't leave without one more drive-by of my ship. Right about then it hit me. It's 5 o'clock on a Monday in Los Angeles. Rush hour traffic, here we come. On the freeways in California, it seems like you're either getting passed because you're only doing 75 or you're coming to a stop. It seems to work for them, though. We made it to the Ontario Convention Center and checked in to run for the wall. And that's where this story will pick up next time. Thanks for watching.